Matt Scratch here, and today I'm working on my neon, and I'm going to be building another implement to go off of the plow mounts. This is going to be what I call a bashing bar, I guess. It's basically going to be this piece of heavy channel is going to be, I'm going to make it so it brackets to the top of the plow mounting arm, and it's going to have a pin that goes through the side of the arm to hold it, that way, and then it will have another pin going down through the channel to hold it at that point, and then it's going to stick out from the front of the car about 2.5, 3 feet at least, and have a big piece of heavy plate on the end of it, basically so I can ram stuff with it. And I'll probably use it in the winter time to push back snow piles that are frozen up, that it's just too hard of a hit. If I hit them with the full snow blade, I could break them up with this. So I've been thinking about making one for that for a while, but some of you may also have noticed it in my videos. I have a junk old RV outside, and I actually want to bash the walls off that and just take it down to a bare frame, so I can build that into like a toy hauling trailer. And so that's another project I'm going to do on the channel. But I think I can make a pretty cool video of bashing the walls down with this. Just park the RV out in the field and just kind of go at it with a little neon here. So I'm going to go ahead and make a video on building the basher bar, and then the next video after that should be bashing the RV up with it. So should be fun. Okay, so I got her marked off here. I've got a 3-foot piece marked out here, so we're going to go ahead and cut it. My ear. One thing I just want to point out too, when you're doing metal work and you're cutting and throwing sparks like this, you may notice that I have everything covered. I have the window on the car covered. Sparks stick to glass really easy. I covered up the hot rod Lincoln, covered up all my engines, because that dust floats in the air, and I'm also wearing a dust mask, so I apologize if my voice is garbled. Okay then, I didn't really have a plan when I got started, but I do have one now, and so I've got this 3-foot chunk of channel on there, and it's pretty well just gonna sit like that, nothing fancy. And so what I'm gonna do is take the cut-off piece and put it up under there, and that'll form my bracket down here. I'll have a tab off of it here to catch the lower part of the pin, and the top part of the pin will drop right through the top part of the channel. And then down here I have to make a U-shaped bracket that wraps around this, and then it will pin directly through there. I'll probably use that as my center hole and drill a pinhole right there. Okay, through the magic of video, I've now got these pieces cut. So essentially this piece here is going to form a bracket that goes down over here, and then I'll weld that. Once that's made as a bracket, I'll weld it to the bottom of the channel. Then, as I mentioned, I trimmed up this piece so it's got nice square ends. Now I can weld it under there, and then that's the exact distance between here and here. So then I'm going to have a tab going under there, and I'll weld that tab there with some extra gusseting so it doesn't flex. So yeah, that's going to sit on top of there. And then I'm probably going to take another piece of that, and that'll be what I use for the end of the basher. But right now I'm going to worry about getting it mounted up. Okay, so I've just taken some time with my grinding wheel, and I went ahead and cleaned up the edges and put a nice bevel on there. And that's very important. If you want a strong weld, you need to put a bevel on it. You need to give the weld somewhere to bite into. Otherwise it's just going to sit on top and you won't get any penetration. So yeah, I've got all that cleaned up. I'm not going to get real fancy, but I need good strong welds, so all my ends are cleaned up and beveled as needed. So I've cleaned up the area that I'm going to weld the bracketing to as well. Okay, here we go to the fun part, welding it together. And I'm going to make use of this old tow hitch. This used to be a homemade bumper off of an old farm truck that I had for a while, and it's perfect for this. That'll add some extra support. Okay, well, before I get too far progressed, I'm just going to make sure that that fits the way I want it. Yeah, perfect. So when we put the tab on there, it'll tuck underneath that, and then we're going to put the other bracket right there. So I'll go ahead and weld that up solid. I'm kind of using my car for a workbench here, but I did put you'll notice I put a sheet over the engine and then close the hood over it. That'll keep the metal dust off the engine. Okay, well, I'll finish up the rest of that welding in a minute here, but I just wanted you to have a peek at my welds. Good focus. Okay, so I got that bracket all welded on there now. So I'm going to go ahead and weld the tab on it. Like that, so I'll spot it and then we'll test it. I want a pretty tight fit here, so don't want it rattling around. Yeah, you can see I got it pretty tight there when the back piece gets in, because the back piece is going to sit under here now. Like this. So I'll sit on that. So I could actually, my tab could bend down a little. I've got it angled up a little. If you adjust this. Pretty happy with that. Okay, so we got that downward piece all fixed into place there, and it fits really nice and snug in there, so it's not going to rattle around. So I'm happy with that. So we're going to put that aside for a minute. You always want to make sure your battery's disconnected when you're welding on a car, or you could fry your computer or something. So I do have it disconnected, just to let you know. I'm going to try grounding it here, see if I can get a ground there. Get a spot. Beautiful. Okay, just gotta tweak it a little. There we go. We have our bracket. We're going to have to drill pinholes through it and in the piece, but we're just we're going to finish welding these up. I'll do that right now. It'll be hot in a minute, but I'll show you up close real quick. That ain't gonna break. So here we go. Getting there. Got the brackets all welded on there. Now we're just rounding edges. I gotta take the grinder to all the corners, and then I'm gonna clean it all up too. And then when it's all cleaned up and fitting good, then I'm gonna drill some pinholes in it. These things here are actually something that was left in my shop by somebody who rented the shop before. I'm not sure what they even are. The guy did cement work apparently, and he left a whole stack of these, so I've been using them up on different projects. They're about 1/4 inch thick, flat iron. They got a bit of a divot in the middle, and that, not sure if that shows, but anyways, they're very strong. I've used them for lots of stuff. Okay, so I got this basher bar pretty much ready to pin on there. I've got the mounts all done now, and I've rounded the corners on them. I've had to cut a bit of an angle on this corner to clear this bar here, but other than that minor hiccup, everything went really slick. So to install this is really simple. Just have to have it slightly down to catch under there, and just go like that, push it back, and then there'll be a pin drop in here and pin drop in here, and take it off. Just like that. Okay, so I got all my holes center drilled now. So I'm going to use this big 1/2 inch drill to bring them up to that size. I just put the oil right at the top, and then it keeps running down for a while as you're drilling. So remember what I said about slower is faster when you're drilling thick metal with the big bit especially. And if you're hearing squeaking, that's bad. Going too fast. This is one of the bits I sharpened in my how to sharpen a drill bit video, by the way. There we go. Nice and easy. Okay, so we're just in the process of making these holes here for the pins, and they're pretty big. These pins are 7/8 of an inch in diameter. They're old sway bar, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And so these are only 1/2 inch holes, so I got a lot to go here to get them to fit the pin. So what I'm using for this job is my tool I made out of a wood router. I made a video on this a while back. I run a burr in here most of the time just to ream out holes and things like this. So this is a variable speed wood router I've modified to do this. So seems to be working pretty good. I did one hole already. So yeah, it very quickly takes the metal off. This is about 1/4 inch plate I'm working with here, so it's a little slow going. I won't bore you with reaming out the whole hole. Okay, well I got 1,000 little metal slivers, but aside from that, we got our first pin in. See all the metal filings from that? But I mean, this is already pretty dang solid. But I still want to put the pin in there because I mean we're literally building this to ram stuff, so I want it stronger than it needs to be. Okay, well we've made a few design modifications here along the way, but that's fine. We made it a bit shorter because when I got it all mounted up there it seemed like it was putting a whole lot of leverage on the car and I was worried it was going to bend something further back. Another thing, I just went with a smaller pin, just a little over 1/2 inch. It's about 5/8. It's an old tire iron. So that's going to be the pin that goes in the back. So I've got that all fitted up. So I'm just going to go ahead and weld this end on now. And then it will be pretty much complete. Wow, that seems like a good place to hold it. Need to get it tapped first. Don't want to melt that crate, so we'll put this in there. Okay, so we're just going to do the final weld here. And then it's all done and I can pin it on and show you. place I can weld. There we go. It's not going anywhere now. One pin in. There, and the other pin in, I made that one fit really tight because I don't want it falling out. So it's all done, and remember it goes up and down just like the snow blade does, so that's why that piece is a little angled. It's made to run in a higher position. So there we have it. I was thinking about painting it, but I don't think I'm going to bother. If I do, you'll see that in the next video when I do the RV bashing. So for now, I'm going to call that good for today. So I got her all done here, and in the end I did decide to put a coat of paint on it just to match the plow arms, and looks a little nicer, and won't get my hands dirty now. So I'm very happy with how everything turned out. Just a quick final view. So you can see how far it sticks out, and then it can go up and down just like the plow blade does. So it gives me a lot of control for ramming stuff. I can imagine this will be a very fun toy.